Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's matchup brought to you by Play VS, where high school esports meets high level competition. The stage is set, the teams are locked in, and it's time to find out who's got the skills, the strategy, and the nerves to take the win. I'm here with Golden Shadow and Silver Shadow. We're going to be keeping you entertained tonight. Apologies for last week where we couldn't necessarily hear anybody. I think there was a setting with the other team when they set up our match. So for tonight's lineup, we're starting off with Christopher Summick, team captain, grade 11 student, DPS gamertag C Play Games. Next up, we have Colin Keith, grade 12 student, DPS, gamertag Starting Point. Then we have supports. We have Randy Anderson, grade 11, gamertag Skyfire. And we have Caleb Turden, grade 12 student, as your last support, gamertag Star Trek fan. And then that's all going to be following the lead of Peter Haberstock, grade 11 student, as our tank, gamertag Neo Hawk. So we're excited for tonight's matchup. I guess let's start off with Silver. Silver, what are you looking for from the LCBI Bisons in tonight's game?
Really just looking to capitalize on the stuff we've been working at, making sure that they're using the terrain to their advantage, communication, focus, moving together with a purpose. We've seen some real improvement over the last couple of weeks through the preseason with practice. Things are really starting to line up. So, that's the big thing that I'll be watching for this week.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, Golden, what are you looking for in tonight's matchup? What kind of things you got your eye on?
Definitely playing as a team and together. I still think that's one of the most important things that teams can do, and also bringing the energy that they did in practice recently. They've been doing very, very well, so I hope that carries over to the games.
Yeah, absolutely. They say practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. And when you see teams executing awesome in training, that's what you want to see. So before we dive into the action, let's break down the three roles you'll see on the battlefield tonight. Starting off is the tank. That's the big guns up front. Tanks take hits, hold the line, and clear the way for their teammates. They're the shield and the spear all at once. And your tank tonight, again, is Peter Haberstock, gamertag Neo Hawk. Next, you have the damage or DPS. These are the playmakers, the sharpshooters, the brawlers, the ones who rack up eliminations and break defenses wide open. If you want highlight real moments, watch the DPS. And again, your DPS for the Bisons are Christopher Summick, gamertag C Play Games, and starting in point. Start in point. Yeah, get calling Keith. I love these gamer tags. They're awesome. Okay, finally, you have the support. So these are the unsung heroes. They keep the team alive, powered up, and in fighting shape. Without strong support, no team survives long in Overwatch. And that, again, is Randy Anderson, gamertag Skyfire, and Caleb Turden, gamertag Star Trek fan. So, together, these three roles form the backbone of every squad, a delicate balance of strength, firepower, and strategy. And tonight, you'll see just how important that balance is. So, for Overwatch 2 game modes through the Play VS League, we're going to be starting off with a control game. So, control, both teams brawl over a single objective, win 2 out of the 3 rounds to claim the map. Control, fun game mode, relatively slow pace when you compare it to Flashpoint. And last week, we actually did end up getting to Flashpoint, losing in Game 5. So let's maybe do some highlight reels. Golden, I know we weren't able to communicate, but I imagine you were watching the game and absolutely cheering along with the Bisons. So what kind of things did you notice last week that maybe got you excited about the first regular season game tonight?
Wow, last week seems like such a long time ago. I don't have the greatest memory, but I do know that they played really well. I was very glad to see. Um, okay, I'm having trouble recalling some of the events.
No, that's okay. I mean, again, it was very hectic. I'd say it's emotional ups and downs. Last week we saw them get all the way up to Game 5, where I believe we
Oh, that
lost.
was
Yeah, because we lost control and hybrid, but I believe we won escort, then push, and then it was flashpoint in which we lost. Yeah, I'd have to double check the live stream, but yeah, absolutely crazy games that filled with ups and downs. I don't know. So I guess let's go back to Silver. So Silver, you weren't able to join us last week. Did you get a chance to talk to the Bisons about their progress over the last that from last week to today? If so, what kind of things are the Bisons going to be looking for in tonight's match? What are they going to be? What are they going to be trying to prepare for? What kind of game do you imagine they're going to have?
Yeah, no, definitely. We had a really good video session on Tuesday reviewing the gameplay, and that was very productive. And then and practice was very efficient all week. People were really locked in, and we saw some real growth as a team. So I'm excited to see that carry through. They really, at our practice on Thursday, really showed the potential of this team. They played against the coaches and some of our recent graduates and did really well. So I hope they keep that confidence level up.
That's exciting. Yeah, we're going to have a great look here. It looks like we're 7 seconds away from starting the match. Tonight's match is with Longview High School. Now, Longview apparently is new to Play VS, so it'll be interesting to see what we're up against.
Our energy is interesting.
Yeah, my
Very
research this week,
interesting.
I did get a chance to look it up, and there are out of Texas, and they do have a significant esports program.
Ready
So,
yourselves for war!
so yeah, I'm excited to see how things come out and where we go from here. So.
All right, we are on the attack. Let's get going. All right, so we're currently following.
Fate draws us together.
Journey together.
Cullen Keith, Gamertag starting point. Bisons come second. The objective of one elimination. Nice. Some getting first blood on their damage players. Yeah, nice. Bisons keep the pressure on as they try to fight through the objective. Again, top of the screen, you'll see there's the percentages. When it's blue, that means we have it. Red, that means they have it. We got to get this baby up to 100%. We have 3 rounds to win game 1.
So that was one of the things we talked about. Was we noticed, the team last week was getting to the point first and controlling the space, and we didn't see that they weren't quite successful in that, but they did a great job in controlling the space and taking the point back. And now you can see setting up an effective defense here. One of the other things is just watching the terrain. I'm seeing a lot of characters bouncing back and forth, looking for those angles, and not lining up. And so far, I've seen all of those things happening. So really impressed so far how they started.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what's really nice to see is Bison's keep getting, an elimination here, an elimination there. Although you might think, like, okay, well, attack. That's what you want, because the opposing team can't mount an effective offense until they're at full strength. So slowly chipping away at their game. You're going to have the edge in every competition until they go and rally back up.
Yeah, we're seeing four ults now, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they space these out. But really doing a great job of controlling the movement lanes. Neilhawk moving back and forth, using the mobility of that character. Same with C-Play Game, both very mobile characters, and with Randy Anderson with that mobile support. They're almost working as 2 independent cohorts here. Really impressive. Happy to see the way this is moving.
Looking so unfair!
really good watching the characters. You know, they're moving back and forth. Seeing Longview got the front voice here all of a sudden. So, you know, I'm interested to see if they can survive this. Again, also, yeah, used a couple, which is great. And so far, they've managed to hold on here. Really impressive.
What is it? That's team play games, and I mean, that's the first time we just saw Colin Keith get eliminated.
Yeah.
Watching Summit hold the objective.
And his teammates coming right back again. Yeah, that was huge. Really, really well played, structural. You know, maybe wasn't the most exciting, but technically really sound. Wonderful teamwork there.
I'd say sound defense, sound defense, and I would say obviously.
There is much to admire about a rebellious spirit. Questioning tradition is how new tradition is formed.
Oh, that's good. I'll use that the next time Sojin gives him
The one
trouble.
thing again,
Saw the Fleming just a bit there.
a little bit. Yeah, they were streaming in just a little bit. But the one really great thing was just watching the LCBI team revolve and, you know, constantly giving Longview another target, a different target.
Here we go.
And not letting any of their teammates kind of get aggroed there.
Bison's kind of all over the map here.
And they're playing very mobile characters here, and I think that's really throwing Longview off.
Unblocked Bison and once again Mr. Stomach getting a double kill. Not fast enough to get that triple kill, but essentially getting a team white Bison. Super excited. So now Bisons have to hold the objective.
One thing I did notice there, and this might be something we have to watch, is when the Bisons get, I guess, a little confident. There's times where they start hunting those kills instead of being patient. So I want to see them that patience in the team play.
Yeah, I definitely got that sense right off the get-go when the Bisons started walking around. And it's like they kind of realize that they're playing a team of very different skill level, and they're all fighting to get around that barrel and start shooting some fish.
I did notice that the other team has switched to Zarya, which is a direct counter to D.Va. That beam can go right through her defense matrix, and those bubbles are so annoying when trying to do damage to her. So they've noticed that the tank has become a problem, and they're trying to fix it.
Well, it's interesting to think about, like, you know, what this team's dynamic is in the Instagram program. I mean, this could be, you know, the B list, the C list, the B list. Because obviously, right, making that switch shows some indication of advanced understanding of the characters, their strengths and weaknesses. And as a result, we can see that they're just missing the skill associated with that. So,
I'm not even sure. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, Victor,
I was just say game one, round two. Game one goes to the Bisons. We got play of the game. Christopher Summick here. No surprise there. Let's take a watch and see what this is. Round one. This gets a triple kill, gets a double kill, gets a triple kill. All right, awesome. Okay, so sorry, Silver, go take it away. What were you saying?
Yeah, that's it's actually I'm seeing some really good skill out of Longview, and like you said, they've got some game knowledge. What I saw there was just a lot of confidence out of the starting five, and those starting point, fluxes. Obviously, you normally have Piper there. You can see that the team depth is definitely there. It's not just relying on one or two or three. We've got people that can step in and play. And what I saw was just a lot of confidence, almost overwhelming confidence on part of the Bisons there. That really just kind of put Longview off stride, I think. Because I saw some good aim, I saw some good mobility, but they definitely weren't playing with the same team cohesion that the Bisons just showed there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and looking at the roster, you're right. I mean, we do actually have a pretty decent roster. I remember our first year within the LCBI Esports program. We had to fight to go put two teams together. We had a Rocket League team and we had an Overwatch team. And now it's exciting to see that, currently on the 2025-26 roster, we're looking at 9 players. 9 players. We have a full team, almost 2 teams, and some spares. So absolutely incredible. Bisons are I think the program's really finding its place here at LCBI. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, the biggest thing for me is not even just numbers, but the skill that we're seeing, where it's you can start plugging and playing some pieces here. We've got Evan Chan, who's not playing right now. He fits into that DPS mold as well quite easily. He's been working very hard and he's very talented. So, I think the program's looking like some long-term sustainability being built here, which we weren't sure where the program was going to go after last year, and it feels in very good hands now with the current group of players.
Yeah, especially because a lot of those players are in grade 11. I mean, on our roster right now, we are going to be losing 4 grade 12s, unless I have anything to say about it. I'm not teaching any of them, but some of my friends are, so we'll see. We have to strategically keep a couple, but we have 3 grade 11s and 2 grade 9s. So and that's just right now. I mean, we also have a new batch of students here at LCBI for the second semester, and some of them may be interested in joining up with the esports program. So I said it's an ever-growing program. It's a great I don't know, industry is the right word. I know me and Gold and Shadow were talking last week about this, about how as far as an entertainment medium, it's huge. Esports is huge. And I know I won't speak for you, Silver, but I know for myself, there are some games that I love to watch. I cannot play, and just watching professionals play these games and just seeing what they can pull off, absolutely, it's a joy to watch. Although I don't recommend you watch professionals play in first-person mode, because you will become visibly sick.
Yeah, it's impressive for sure. And, one of the other things that I have to say, grateful for the University of Saskatchewan esports team. They provided some coaching for our summer camp this year. And, they've got one of the top esports teams in all of Canadian collegiate sports. In fact, they beat the reigning champions last week in their last week in their opening season game. They beat the University of Toronto this week. So a very strong Overwatch team just up the road that we're hoping to continue to create some collaboration with and get some guidance. And, that's one of the things, is there's a whole other level for these players to look forward to if they put in the effort. So
yeah, absolutely. Opportunities are abound. You just got to go out and seek them. And looks like the Bisons are, as I said, with their social media following, and are again, every year the renown for the program keeps building. We always see spend days. I mean, we see the faces of the students light up when they see that. Wow, you guys have a gaming lab in your boarding school, and yeah, it's exciting to get them in here and just take a look. Well, hey, I know some people play video games for fun. This is kind of more of an actual competitive thing, where although, yeah, in the moment you're probably sweating buckets, but after the game, when you lock down a win, you are celebrating. But looks like I think I hear the Bisons getting ready to kick off Game 2. So Game 1 obviously goes to the Bisons. Game 2 is now hybrid. Okay, so step 1, Capture point. Step 2, turn that point into a payload and escort it to victory. So as opposed to escort, it's that first capture point that really sets this game mode apart. And the challenge is that first choke point, if you can't break through, you're going to have a bad time. It'll be interesting to see what Longview does here. Obviously, huge skill disparity between the two teams. I'm kind of concerned about what this is going to do for our ranking, for our matchup. Especially if we get a clean sweep here.
I'm not concerned. You know, it'll definitely push us towards the top half of the rankings right off early in the season. But you know, the only way to get better is by beating the best. And you know, the way this team has been playing, like, I'm ready to stack them up against anybody.
I believe, you know, that Tokyo's behavior has rubbed off on you.
Of a really great team now, right?
Yeah.
Put all the skill together that we want, but if they don't play like a team, they're not going to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so looks like Bison's going to be attacking first, so we have Longview setting up defense.
Who knows what we'll find out there?
Let's take a look and see how long it's going to take the Bisons to break Longview's defensive setup. What kind of defensive setup? Oh, they're literally taunting. Right, this does not look good for Longview. Alright, let's see what the Bisons do.
It's going to be interesting. C-Play, you know, had to switch characters. They banned Vendetta, who was his character last round. So we'll see how effective he is with that character.
Going Roadhog into D.Va is definitely an interesting choice. That hook can be pretty detrimental. D.Va has a really big hitbox that the rest of these characters can capitalize on with that stun that the hook gives you. That healing is also super annoying as there's no way to stop it when it happens, and it can heal a lot of damage. But most of his shots can be blocked by D.Va, and even if you try and hook her off the map, which you can't really do in this game, map, she can just fly back up. So I find it an interesting choice.
Interesting choice, and especially, you know, not seeing any real tank melting DPS. I guess they do have a Bastion. So yeah, interesting. It could work, but man, Bison's really had a great push going on and taking that point.
Yikes, looks like Christopher Summit getting taken out by the Roadhog. You know, you definitely see, find out who are the goated players, and they go and definitely try to isolate them and aggro them.
Star Trek fan just had a huge takeout as a support off around, and he can do some devastating damage. Really impressive by Star Trek fan there. I actually think he turned this whole second fight around and made it about himself. Just sick.
We're following Skyfire right now. Doing a decent job again, staying far enough back that, you know, not getting any unwanted attention, but close enough that
she definitely has a challenge with these two mobile characters.
Back. Is that something we strategize, practice this, or is that just so we spend 3 up front, 2 in the back on objectives?
No, it looks like that this is just something that they're sort of forming to already. What we worked on as practice is moving as a group, as you kind of see right now, where they're all like hovering around the point, especially with tank being out of mech. You kind of want to play more back. But that 2 and 3 you see is very strong in teams, because the DPS get enough healing from whoever's around them. And also, it makes it way harder for the other team to focus on one character when you have the group split up, and especially if one of them is flanking. Like, you're gonna have to split up the team, and that's just not good for someone who's trying to hold the defensive.
I definitely think it's not a specific thing you work on in practice, but this rotation of characters. So again, you don't have that one character up front getting aggro. You're able to get in and out and absorb some damage. And they're showing here that was something we definitely worked on. And really like the way we're seeing that movement ability being used by all 5 of them. Really well done.
Yeah, well, round 1 complete. Impressive by the Bisons. Getting the capture point captured, getting the convoy, or the not the convoy, sorry, the payload all the way through with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to spare. So now it's the Bison's turn to set up the defense, and Viewpoint High School's, Longview, their job's going to be to break the Bison defense. So I think one thing I'm looking for is how well can the Bison set up that initial choke point to halt Longview's attack. How long, because that first initial choke point really can take a lot of time here. And however much time is left over, it gets added on.
Watch our flanks. They might try something.
The timer at the end of the
Defend the objective.
get the objective to
Defend the objective.
Yeah,
Checkpoint.
like you can see, the Bison's finished with 4 minutes and 10 seconds, which is almost the full clock. That's an incredible. Basically, that means they didn't stop at all almost. But yeah, this defense is going to be important.
I believe that Tokyo
throughout this is important. So, again, confidence is good. We need to make sure that we're overconfident and start getting ourselves into bad position. But really happy with how they're playing so far.
It looks like this diva here is going to make great use of the small high ground positions that is around this first point, using those boosters to take off angles, especially to get behind that Reinhardt shield, is super important and can definitely be used to our advantage.
Yeah, Diva using that high ground over Ryan is a massive. Oh, nice save there too. They had a player come after C-play game, and the tank just saved him, as well as Randy Anderson. So great use of the mobile to save a player there.
Yeah, absolutely. And even just like in the thing being able to give you that space, that doesn't really that doesn't work. Shotguns are pretty short range.
Yeah.
Getting
a Reaper right in your face is super dangerous, especially if you're any kind of, we call them squishies, so that's pretty much any healer and most of the DPS. It only takes 3 or 4 hits from a Reaper right in your face to take you out.
You can tell
so getting away from that is super important.
Yeah, you can tell the communication's excellent, because as the Reaper was teleporting up, D-Play was moving, and Chris and Randy were already moving to assist him. I wish I was in the room to hear it. Obviously, the communication by the team is really good, and C-Play, I know Longview tried to get him off there. He's really controlling the approach from that perch there. Really well done.
Well, you have to think of those as a few factors. You know they're moving, and she's perched up. Second guess a lot of moves you're doing, right? You kind of see, where they're sitting and being like, should I pop out? Should I not pop out?
Yeah, no, you're 100%. And the best part is Chris is that fear factor, but the Bisons are capitalizing it. The moves that Longview does make, the rest of the team is shutting it down really quick. So really impressed by the defense so far.
It's interesting. Their tank switched off Reinhardt to Roadhog again, and that's a big play by our tank. Getting even 1 kill with your ult is game-changing, but getting 2 or 3, especially when it's both those healers, is definitely going to take up a lot of time on the other team, because they're either going to have to regroup or they're going in severely down.
the other thing too. I mean, even like some of these shots that aren't landing.
No one can hide from my sight.
Although they're not necessarily finishing them, they are weak to dancers, so they're going into battle wounded.
Hostile here.
So Longview only has 33 seconds, or now 30 seconds, to cap that point, or
Almost there.
game 2 goes to Bison.
Yeah. The suppression of the Bastion, I think, is definitely helping, because a good Bastion and a good Widow are super scary. It makes both your squishies afraid and your tanks afraid of making moves, being out of position, and going in. This is such a lethal combo.
Bison's fighting like Snake, not allow this to be.
Such naive prey.
Let the Kitsune
That was well done by the Bisons. That was a big push by Longview. They really they made space. They did a good job of adapting their strategy, but really great job by the Bisons reacting there.
Yeah, well, you could tell that they tried to keep it. They tried to keep the battle indoors. But looks like we have play the game starting point.
Right at the end there.
Causing that chaos. We saw that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we saw that. Sorry, that the alts, they sat on the alts a little bit longer, but obviously they didn't need them. Okay, so Golden, what are you liking to see? What do you like that you saw?
I definitely liked all of the movement that was happening. It's clear that their communication was very well done. The peeling off to help going back to your tank, or going back to your team, was super efficient. And those healers keeping up both the DPS and the tank clearly shows that everybody here is very good at their jobs.
The one thing I'll say is, again, the setup, not just spread out, but multi-layers and angles. Keeping Bastion in the back there to shut the back door. Really impressed.
Yeah, no. Again, they're reading the plays right. I think it is interesting. We are seeing a little bit of chaotic hecticness from Longview. Definitely signs of a junior team. I think their coaching is there. But, the Bisons are definitely reading the room correctly. And I think what's really, evident with an intermediate to senior team is that, they can identify those weaknesses, right? Like, I think for the longest part of the esports program, we've been focusing on, okay, this is what you do. These are the right decisions you need to make. Whereas now, we've got to that point, and now it's like, okay, well, now let's pick apart what they're doing. What weaknesses, what mistakes are they making, and how can the Bisons best capitalize on that? And I think the Bisons are doing a beautiful job on identifying those weaknesses and then exploiting them.
And as a player, like, sometimes even seeing those weaknesses isn't a conscious thing. Just through knowing the gameplay, you're seeing someone is slightly out of position, or you're seeing that, oh, this person isn't doing quite what they should on this character. And I feel like that's what's happening, where it's just the instinct of these players that are making some of these moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Golden, anything to, sorry, not Golden, Silver, anything to add?
Yeah, no, just, again, really happy. You can see the communication taking point. Again, I wish I was in the room to hear it for myself, but you can see the way that they're working their strategy, they're sticking to the game plan, and being effective. So even though Chris, made a switch on the characters, they were able to change their approach and move forward. So
absolutely.
Just really excited to see them stick with the approach.
Yeah, well, we're switching to Escort. This is Game 3. Bisons having a sweeping victory for your first regular season game. moving to escort. So one team pushes the payload through checkpoints, the other tries to stop them in their tracks. This might benefit Longview, just because there is no choke point that they have to get to. You know, they're already starting from a position of movement. However, we have seen teams get hung up on these escorts because although the payload might be moving, some of these choke points don't, and they got to move through them. So Bisons looks like they're preparing to attack. We have
discontinued my favorite moisturizer.
We have
Got any
Longview High School setting up their defense.
I don't use creams. I just splash some water on my face and call it a day.
It's interesting, you know, they banned Randy Anderson's main support, that Juno support. It really just shows, you know, they've recognized how effective she's been in keeping the team up, and so we see Randy now move to Kiri. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because she's also a very strong Kiri player.
I think we just witnessed Starting Point doing the 6-7 emote with Soldier 76. So.
I mean, that sounds like a bannable offense to me.
That's disappointing. He may have to run an
bench
extra lap at practice.
Bench him.
Yeah. So far, this is a good rollout. This corner is one of those choke points on this map that's not great to get through, but if you notice, the other team is all grouped up, which makes that Vendetta super scary, as she can get multiple characters at once.
Yeah, and you can see they've switched their tank to Ram, which is interesting. That was one of our first bans. So, but yeah, the Vendetta is tearing them apart.
Well, Bisons have now capped the objective. If you're wondering why Skyfire is firing at the Diva, the tank, that's healing cards. Healing cards, so don't be alarmed. Alright, we have Christopher Summit going toe-to-toe with their tank. That sounds about right.
That sounds like Chris's style.
Yeah.
No, it's the team is definitely more of a dive comp now. Way more mobile. You know, with no Bastion, we've got Soldier 76 along, and then Kiriko. So I expect to see the team very in and out of situations.
Oh, nice strategic retreat from Christopher Summit, Gamertag C-Play Games. Got to only 4 health left and darted out of there. And got healed and is right back in the action.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've been working on for all the characters. You know, go in, do your damage, you know, don't push it too far, and then get back to your supports.
Oh my goodness. All right, interesting play by their Junkrat. I don't know how effective it looked cool.
Yeah, going directly for that Kiriko is super rough. Kiriko has this ability where she can make everybody who gets splashed by it invincible, which is probably the reason why she didn't teleport to the tank who is further up. But it looked like it was on a cooldown there, or even sometimes you just can't get it off in time. But now that they're all back together, it seems like that was not that kill wasn't capitalized on by their other team.
Yeah, well, Bisons are now making their way downtown, over halfway done, almost at the second checkpoint. Chris leading the charge in the shopping mall, hotel. Well, they finally got
rid of it's a hotel.
Yeah, good use of the Junkrat trap there to get Chris stuck.
Yeah.
You know,
we're just saying, hey, you wanna get in? All right, we'll punish you for being that aggressive. We got Soldier 7 or 76. It's always interesting watching Soldier 76 players because it's either they're right in the action or they're pretty far back. Colin's kind of doing a weird medium thing.
Yeah, several ults being used by both teams, so it's going to be interesting to see where this fight ends up.
I'm liking the corner coverage that I see from Colin here. You know, not overexposing himself, playing his corners, and obviously that working good for the Bisons. Bisons having just under 4 minutes to get this payload a few more meters, and then that is round 1 for Escort. Nice use of high ground by Colin Keith. Somebody's been watching Star Wars. And just laying the hurt down. Now, obviously, good job just, not really... Oh, Junkrat. Nice use of Junkrat from Longview. You know, if I was to put together a troll team, Junkrat would be on it. Junkrat...
100%.
Okay, worst team imaginable. Junkrat, Reaper, Roadhog...
I think you'd have to throw Sombra in there, and then the support. I don't know where you go there.
Yeah, just that's what
Brig.
we do.
I would probably put Brig in there.
Yeah. We gotta have a staff versus students Overwatch tournament where we just pick the biggest troll characters we possibly can.
I would love to see that. Make it a charity event.
Charity. All right,
Well
Bison's here,
Bison.
moments away after team kill, and looks like round 1. Bisons get the objective to the final checkpoint with 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Who's saying 6-7? Which one of them? Oh.
That would be the soldier again.
Okay, well, anyway, round 1 goes to the soon-to-be canceled Bisons.
Yeah, I feel like somebody's earning themselves a bench demotion for next week.
Yeah. This is failure on the school's programs. Parents, if you're listening, please don't hold us accountable for this. There's only so much we can do with your children. But anyway, so now Bison's going to be setting up the defense, and we're going to see Longview try to get that objective in. Okay, so. Yeah, I guess more maneuverable characters. We got Diva as tank.
You sure talk like that. Perhaps it is a sign.
Okay, so up here is where I remember we've had the most difficulty. This is a brutal choke point. Getting it up that hill with all these balconies around. Let's see what the Bisons can come up with.
The one thing you'll see that the Bisons are doing that Longview didn't is you can see how spread out they are. They're not all clustered down around that corner on the bottom. So
I love the preemptive shooting. They're like, we don't know where you are, but you could be there.
We're gonna get ya.
Yeah, you could be there. Okay, Chris just going right for the back. All right. Ah, you got left behind by your team, did you? Well, let's see how long
That
you
will be
last.
your downfall.
Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen a team try and hide back in their spawn. Oh my goodness.
That was very aggressive.
That was very aggressive. They're like, everybody back to spawn, back to spawn.
Well,
we gotta think
let's be
about
honest,
this.
That's Chris's character. Like, if he wasn't being aggressive, this character would become very ineffectual. So he really has. It maybe seems arrogant or something, but he really has no choice.
Yeah.
Because that is the whole reason behind this character.
Well,
is
get
to be
in,
aggressive.
do some damage, get out. Yeah. And they go back to their spawn. Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen... Well, unfortunately, it kind of seems like Longview is a bit demoralized.
Yeah, it definitely happens when you get beat down this hardly. I've known that
we're
our
Bisons.
team has felt
You don't
that.
have to tell us that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see these newer players changing up that script a little bit.
Oh, same script, different roles. We're on the winning side. But it'll be interesting to see, how this team compares to the other ones that we're going to be playing this season. I mean, this is our first regular season match. right? So we're still finding our bearings, and if this is a brand new team, or at least a team that hasn't been registered with Play VS, you know, again, it'd be interesting to see what we have in our brackets. I was thinking about that. It would be actually nice if Play VS had more of an actual tiered ranking, game mode as opposed
I think
to
the
having
problem.
these 50, 60 players. Well, let's go come up with 5 or 6 different leagues with similar skilled players and have different matches.
Yeah, I think the challenge is how do you pull that out of the online systems that exist today? It becomes a real challenge. But then,
well, more stock would have to be put in your preseason.
This would be harder.
You'd have to really say, okay, well, let's have 5 or 6 preseasons to find out where you are skill-wise.
it is going to be interesting. There is a slightly different ranking system in play this year. I noticed this season versus our previous ones, where it's not just a score, but you're actually seeing your opponent's rank, win-loss, as well as the win-loss that your opponents have played as well, which is going to factor into the ranking. So if you beat up on a bunch of teams that have lost, you're not going to be ranked as high if you've perhaps lost to a team that.
So your rankings will go up and down depending on your opponent's difficulty as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that Junkrat.
They're definitely using a bunch of vaults here now, and they are making some progress. So they're not giving up. I'm going to give Longview a lot of credit. They've continued fighting this entire time, and working hard and trying different things. So they deserve a lot of credit for ensuring that they're not rolling over by any means.
Yeah, Christopher Summit is just devastating with this character.
Yeah, and you can tell Longview wasn't ready for that for sure. They were a very squishy team, so
yeah.
Well done, great game by the Bisons. You can't say anything else. They played really, really well. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at play of the game. So Christopher Summit, see play games. Looks like it's, nicely timed ult. Takes them out and just lays on the hurt. So there we go. There was tonight's game. Won our first regular season game. Really exciting to see the Bisons come together as a team. Our next game, I think we have a bye next week. Is that correct?
Yeah, because of the long weekend. Yes, we have a bye next week.
Yeah, so no Overwatch, no official Overwatch next week. We're going to give the students a break. And, yeah, so, okay, so I guess highlights from tonight's game. We'll start off with you, Golden. What were your highlights that you saw from tonight?
It was really hard to pick out one or two things that they did right, because they pretty much did everything right. They were playing super close together when they needed to, playing around the point and using that as cover, and just playing as a team with that good communication as well.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, Silver, let's hear from you. What were some of your highlights from tonight's match?
Yeah, for me, definitely it was the communication, the way they reacted, the movement of the team, using the terrain to their benefit. That was what I was hoping to see today, and they definitely showed it. So really proud of them.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, folks, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Andy Prokopchik. I'm here with Golden Shadow and Silver Shadow. This has been Esports at LCBI. Go Bisons. We'll see you in a couple weeks' time. So you guys take care. God bless. Go Bisons.